It was Pablo Picasso who once said that art washes away from the soul the dust of everyday life. And this may seem the case at Dubai's XVA Art Hotel. It's located in the Fahidi Neighborhood in Bur Dubai. And although it's one of the smallest hotels in the Emirate, according to Eleanor Smith, General Manager of the XVA Gallery, its reputation is quite the opposite. Since 2003, the XVA Art Hotel has been inspiring its guests and residents alike with its contemporary art flavours in and amongst its Persian architectural heritage. The quarter takes you on a journey back in time and reminds you that it wasn't too long ago when the city was a modest fishing port and its towers were anything but the biggest or the tallest. However, during the early to mid-20th century, Dubai's status as the region's major port started to grow dramatically, supported by major works such as the dredging of Dubai Creek in the 1950s, so as to allow large trading vessels to use the port. And the city cemented its reputation as the main trading hub in the lower Gulf. Now, this premises wasn't always known as the XVA Hotel. Can you tell us a little about the history surrounding this building?
This building is part of the Al Fahidi Historical Neighborhood, formerly known as Bastakia, which was built in the late 1850s, one of the first permanent settlements in the region. It was built on the creek to facilitate the growing trade and industry in the region, and this building itself was the former home of the Siddiqui family, Dubai's Rolex dealers. The original building surrounding the main courtyard also dates back to the late 1850s. However, the two smaller buildings on the edges had to be completely rebuilt because they deteriorated since that time.
When it was converted into a hotel, what steps were taken to maintain its authenticity and heritage?
Well, the Dubai Architectural Heritage Department went to painstaking efforts to make sure that it was renovated properly using the original plans, historical photographs, building techniques such as using coral within the walls as the building blocks. So every possible effort was made to keep it as authentic as it possible. And when Mirna Nassar took over the tenancy of XVA over 10 years ago, she tried to continue this by designing the rooms with references to the region and the culture and the heritage, but also everything's as it was. The structural integrity of the building is the same. The rooms are quite small with the wind towers or high up windows with different motifs. It is a unique and traditional experience. This is the first permanent settlement in the region on the creek, and the first settlers were Persian. The wind towers are now become an iconic part of Dubai's architecture. We're a small business that's one of a kind. We offer a unique experience, which in Dubai is not that common. We're a small 13-bedroom hotel. Each room is uniquely designed, and we maybe appeal to people who want to escape the usual 5-star high-rise buildings you often find here.
As you mentioned earlier, the hotel has 13 uniquely designed rooms which are located around 3 courtyards. Each room is individually themed. Can you tell us about the concepts and who designed them?
Well, Mirna Nassar, the founder of XVA, is the main person responsible for the designs of all the rooms. Like I said before, she wanted to keep references to the region. So lots of them are to do with fashion and clothing from the region, such as the Gutra suite, the Dish Dash suite, the Jalabia suite, also the Henna suite, which is obviously body art. And then there's also the gallery room, which is one of my favorites because it has many pieces from all of the artists that we represent in XVA, and the artworks can change as well. So maybe you'll stay one year and then the next year you'll see different things on the wall. Another great room is the moon room, which is very subtle globe-shaped lamps and half moon headboard and vintage images of the moon, and then handwritten poetry about the moon by one of our artists in residence. Did that when he was here. Each room features different artworks by the artists that we represent. Another room known as the Sweet Suite was designed by Zayan Gandor of Source Boutique fame. The room features a collage wall of all artworks made by her, and the It's a really lovely room with natural lighting. That's actually just behind me. And it's neutral bedspreads, but very colourful artwork and walls. It's quite girly and kitsch and cute.
How is the XVA Gallery exposing art and artists from this region? And more generally, how committed are you to raising the profile of contemporary art practice in Dubai?
Well, we're very committed to raising the profile of contemporary art practice in Dubai, but also the artists that we represent from the region and maybe slightly further afield. We do this by exposing the exhibitions that we do locally as much as possible in both local and international publications, but also very important is visiting international art fairs, which we are doing quite a few this year and hope to do more and more in the future, such as Art Basel Hong Kong or Shanghai Contemporary next month. The fairs create a great opportunity to strengthen relationships with other gallerists, collectors, other artists, and maybe facilitate future collaborations with galleries or even museums if you're really lucky. Mirna Nassar, the founder of XVA, always wanted to open an art gallery when she was based back in the US. And moving here, she discovered the Fahidi Historical Neighborhood, and on visiting decided it just was quite a natural thing. She thought it was the perfect place to open a boutique hotel, but also with her strong interest in contemporary art, it just kind of organically happened, I suppose, to fuse the traditional with the contemporary.
Currently, the gallery is presenting a group exhibition of works by 3 female artists entitled Butterflies in My Stomach and is set to run until September the 1st. Art consultancy services are also offered at the XVA, providing expert consultancy and full project management for companies and individual requirements in art. How have guests responded to the experience that is offered here?
Really positively, I'm very happy to say. People call it their home away from home and return year after year, and often called an oasis in the heart of the city, because it does offer that unique experience that maybe you don't quite expect when you're coming to Dubai.
Finally, there is no doubt that the ambitious innovations and speed in which Dubai is accelerating at is looked upon in awe, both from the region and around the globe. But in your opinion, do you feel that visitors and residents are wanting more and more to be exposed to Dubai's past and heritage, in addition to witnessing its growth?
Yes, definitely. I think people are fascinated by Dubai and they want to know where it came from and where it began and how it came to be what it is now. And Al Fahidi is extremely important to that. And when people do visit here, I think it broadens their perspective on the city, and it's usually a very positive reaction.
This juxtaposition between old and new has given this concealed corner of Dubai its unique flavour. Many of today's iconic artists, poets, singers and even presidents have found a little piece of tranquility within the walls of these humble courtyards. Well, that brings us to the end of our program. If you would like to know more about any of the stories you have seen tonight, you can contact us at UAE Weekly at city7tv.com or by calling us on 04 367 2230. From myself and the entire team, have a great week ahead.